Hi everyone, it's Miss Akbari in the library. I wanted to tell you about the book Michael Vey, Prisoner of Cell 25. This is a book that we've had in our library for a while, but it's the beginning of a 7-book series. And I love to talk about books that are parts of series because if you enjoy the first book, that's a whole bunch of other books that you know you'll want to read. That's a great way to know what you're going to read next. In this book, Michael Vey is our main character. He is an ordinary teenager going to a regular high school until he learns something pretty extraordinary about himself. And he accidentally discovers that he is electric. And um, in addition to that, once he discovers that he has this kind of unusual power, he learns that there are other kids out there similar to him that have kind of extraordinary abilities. And not only that, there are adults who are trying to round these kids up and use them for their own purposes. So that's kind of the basic plot of Michael Vey. I wanted to read you just a little bit of the beginning of the book, and instead of reading just one chapter, I'm going to read two because at the start of the book, these chapters are really short. And I love that in a book, especially at the beginning of a book, because I feel like it draws me in really quickly. So, the first chapter, you're going to hear from the adults who are hunting the kids like Michael Vey. And then the second chapter is actually Michael talking. So, the first chapter is called Chopsticks and Spiders. Have you found the last two? The voice on the phone was angry and coarse, like the sound of car tires over broken glass. Not yet, the well dressed man on the other end of the phone replied. Not yet. But we believe we're close, and they still don't know we're hunting them. You believe you're close? They're two children among a billion. Finding them is like finding a lost chopstick in China. Is that what you want me to tell the board? Remind the board that I've already found 15 of the 17 children. I've put out $1 million bounty on the last two. We've got spiders crawling the web, and we have a whole team of investigators scanning global records for their whereabouts. It's just a matter of time before we find them, or they step into one of our traps. Time isn't on our side, the voice returned sharply. Those kids are already too old. You know how difficult they are to turn at this age. I know better than anyone, the well dressed man said, tapping his ruby capped pen on his desk. But I have my ways, and if they don't turn, there's always cell 25. There was a long pause. Then the voice on the phone replied darkly, Yes, there's always cell 25. Chapter 2, The Beginning. It's not like I was looking for trouble, I didn't have to. At my height, it just always found me. My name is Michael Vey, and the story I'm about to tell you is strange, very strange. It's my story. If you passed me walking home from school, you probably wouldn't even notice me. That's because just a kid like you. I go to school like you. I get bullied like you. Unlike you, I live in Idaho. Don't ask me what state Idaho is in. Newsflash, Idaho is a state. The fact that most people don't know where Idaho is exactly why my mother and I moved here, so people wouldn't find us. But that's part of my story. Besides living in Idaho, I'm different from you in other ways. For one, I have Tourette's syndrome. You probably know less about Tourette's syndrome than you do about Idaho. Usually, when you see someone on TV pretending to have Tourette's syndrome, they're shouting swear words or barking like a dog. Most of us with Tourette's don't do that. I mostly just blink my eyes a lot. If I'm really anxious, I'll also clear my throat or make a gulping noise. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes kids make fun of me. It's no picnic having Tourette's, but there are worse things that can happen to you, like having your dad die of a heart attack when you're 8. Believe me, that's much worse. I'm still not over that. Maybe I never will be. There's something else you don't know about me. It's my secret, something that scares people more than you would believe. That secret is the reason we moved to Idaho in the first place. But again, that's part of my story, so I might as well tell it to you. So that's just a little bit of the beginning of Michael Vey, Prisoner of Cell 25. If you like fast paced action adventure stories, if you like science fiction and dystopia, this would be a great book for you to read.